Hi, I'm Ruby, and today we're going to be talking about the outlining and planning process of your assignments. But before we talk about how to outline and plan, it's really important to understand why this process is essential to the success of your writing. So both going through the motions of planning your assignment, as well as what you then do with that finished plan, are both crucial processes. It's important to recognise that the majority of the time you spend on your assignment will be taken up by this research and planning stage. And this will take some time. So it's important to allow yourself the space to work through these processes when planning out your schedule. And while these videos work through the planning elements of the assignment writing, if you're unsure about that research component, do head over to our library webpage and you can book an appointment with a librarian who will help give you some assistance with search strategies and finding resources for those assignments. The process of creating the plan itself is also beneficial because it allows you to formulate and be reflective with your ideas, as well as focus your research towards answering that assignment question. And what you end up with at the end is a coherent narrative and has a logical progression of ideas and a clear conclusion to work towards before you even start the writing process. The great news is that once you've completed your assignment plan, you can rely on your outline to do all the heavy lifting for you. So having a clear plan of both what goes into the essay and then how you're going to structure this makes the writing process easier because it allows you to write without having to worry about forgetting something or sticking to the point. All right, so you've taken the time to understand what your assignment's asking you to do. You've done a little bit of research into the key points that you're going to discuss, and now you're ready to create an outline of your assignment. Just as a quick note, if you're unsure on either of these processes, I encourage you to take a look at the other videos in our Kickstart Your Assignment series, namely the Analyze Your Task and Brainstorming videos, and they're going to help you get back here. So the question is, what should the plan look like? Now this can be as unique as you are. After all, this is just for you, and you're likely to be the only one who's ever going to see it. So the best way to decide what your plan will look like is to think about how you learn best. Some people benefit from mind mapping in colour, while others prefer a more linear approach. You may even find that a combination of these two approaches is what works for you. Everyone has their own process, and over time you'll develop yours, but let's have a look at a few key steps to consider when creating your plan. The first thing to keep in mind is the structure of the assignment that you're writing. So while the content will depend on what kind of assignment you've been asked to create, the basic structure will likely remain consistent. So we're looking for an introduction, main ideas presented in each paragraph, and then a conclusion. So take a moment to look at the assignment description or rubric and determine what your assignment needs to contain. At this point, it's also a good idea to consider some of the limitations of the assignment. So including word counts or a breakdown of the assignment question in your plan can also be really helpful. Once you've mapped out the structure of your assignment, then you can begin to fill in those details. So the rubric will likely contain key points your marker's looking for, and you can choose to make these the focus of each of your paragraphs, or you can even consider how these points connect to one another. To work out what these are, think about what you already know. So go back to your brainstorming and research notes, and these are what are going to help you to construct the ideas within your assignment, and they often become the key points or themes of the paragraphs. So once you have an idea of what you want to include, it's important to think about how these ideas come together, and ultimately how they're going to help you to answer that assignment question. So remember that big ideas can often become the focus of an entire paragraph, while smaller ideas can simply be used to support those larger arguments. All right. Now you have the main ideas in place, you can use your notes to decide which evidence can support each of these main ideas. So you decide that something is important. At this point, it's a really great idea to include any direct quotes, paraphrased ideas, and reference details in that part of the assignment plan. This is going to help you keep track of where you've pulled all that evidence from, and it's going to save you a lot of time when you go to create that reference list. Once you've decided what to include, you can think about the order that you'll present these ideas in. And this is often referred to as creating a logical progression of ideas. So for example, there are lots of different ways that you can describe your day. It may make more sense to describe it in chronological order. However, if something of note happened, you may find the story more logical if you present the most important information first. And this is all up to you. But also remember that this can change. It probably will change. Rearrangements of ideas is common as your plan begins to come together. It's really beneficial to be reflective. In the beginning, you may think that a particular idea is really important, but as you structure that plan, you may find that it's actually just something that will support a bigger idea. As always, keep referring back to that assignment question to help you keep on track. Congratulations! Now you have a clear outline of the assignment and you're ready to tackle the next stage of the essay writing process, which is drafting. When you're ready, be sure to check out our drafting videos for more information on this process. And best of luck with your assignment planning.